Clarke, hello. How are you? I'm going to shake your hand.
Hi, Max.
Come on, we're going to show off the sprayer. Come on. We orchestrated it with Clarke. We're going to look at this remote sprayer. Fantastic piece of kit. So Clarke, just tell us why you are at the National Fruit Show, please.
Do you know something, Max? I've had a fantastic day. I've been in the industry for 50 years and I've never been to this show before.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh, blimey. I can't believe you just said that.
Yes. And what's here is fascinating. Incredibly old-fashioned and modern.
Yes. Succinctly put. Well done, sir.
Right? Because the judging of apples and pears must have been the way that's been done for decades.
Yeah.
And then we come across this fella.
Yep. Look at this. So a remote orchard sprayer. Look at that. So,
Totally remote orchard sprayer, which my guess is probably in another decade will be obsolete.
Yeah.
The way technology is moving. But nevertheless, technology is moving in this direction.
Yeah, and it's not only technology that is moving, because you were very evocative in what you were saying earlier at the speech. Just tell the few thousand people dialed in your raison d'être, what you wanted to get across, why you want to be, if it's okay, what to say, why you want to be quite disruptive today.
I'm never disruptive, but my view of the future is actually fairly disruptive, I guess. Which says we're not going to grow crops like we are at the moment in soil. Yes, there will be some scale crops, but most of our production will be controlled environment agriculture, covered glass houses, some polythene, and vertical farms.
Yeah.
And that's the way that food production is moving. And that then gives us all of the opportunity to actually put back to the environment the carbon capture, the nature recovery, the landscape development, the hedgerows, the trees that my generation has cut down over the last 40, 50 years.
Yeah. So what are you envisaging? A blended approach of conventional, new technology, vertical farming? Is a blended approach, is that the right terminology?
This at one level is what's called the fourth industrial
well done.
right?
Yeah.
So we've had the first, we had the second, third only happened a couple of decades ago. It was called computers.
Yeah.
Fourth is now upon us. They're even talking about the fifth.
Yeah.
But the fourth is about joined up data, systems, Internet of Things, and a whole different approach to the way that we actually interact with nature. And part of that from a technology point of view is actually also gene editing, in putting health and nutrition to the forefront. But it also is looking at those supply chains. Can you imagine a future that says when I actually take that lettuce from my fridge and automatically one will arrive tomorrow to replace it? And they already knew how much I was having on a daily basis, and therefore sowed that 28 days ago to reach me in time. That's called joined up supply chains.
Yeah. Rather than the disruption that we have at the moment, because in some ways the technology is already there. Razor blades, if you buy a razor blade in the supermarket, it tells through RFID tagging, whatever technology is being used now, that the warehouse has got to ship. But to extend that to on a domestic basis, so that we've got that supply chain all working together, so it definitely looks to be the future.
It will be there. It looks futuristic. It looks fanciful as we sit right now. The reality is that when in 50 years' time some of the youngsters walking around today look back, they'll say, our industry's changed a bit over the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah. And it's very personal what you said about the fourth industrial revolution. You're about the fourth industry leader in the UK and the US who stated that. What would your advice be to people as to where they can find out more? Where can they find out more? Whether we're going to title it the fourth industrial revolution, or just in general, what would your advice be to people as to how they can be curious to get more information?
I think the first thing is to open your mind to what is possible, because this is mind-blowing. So the first comment, that's the way we're going to grow cereals, is, well, we can't get a combine in there.
Yeah.
right? This is a completely different thought process. It's a bit like my grandfather, milking 24 cows in an old byre, and his innovation was a pipeline, not for the air, not for the milk, into a cluster, and the cluster into a churn.
Yeah.
A bulk's tank was too far removed from him.
Yeah.
Down the road were people with 40, 50, 60 cows.
Yeah.
They'll never catch on, lad. They don't even know their names.
Wow.
Right? There were 100,000 dairy farmers now. Look at how many there are now. And those will change. If I'd have said to him, by the way, grandfather, we will have machines that milk cows, and nobody will be in there. They'll just walk in, take something to eat, and that would blow his mind. So Google it. It's all over that. But it is that opening of mind to think what is possible.
The only thing you can predict is change, and if you're not part of that change, you're not going to change, and you will be a victim of that change. Good, just made that up. Okay, as you're here, Food Enterprise Park. Tell us about the Food Enterprise Park, please.
Food Enterprise Park is fantastic, and well done. And she's got a lot of issues, but well done to Liz Truss. Back in 2015, produced food enterprise zones around the country. Norfolk got one just outside Norwich, next door to Easton College, and that's 100 acres with a local development order now for food and food processing businesses. And we're filling up. And what we're doing is co-locating them, getting them to move together, looking at innovation in plant foods. The UK's largest vertical farm, just about finishing completion, and that to me is important because they're feeding off each other.
So Food Enterprise Park, how do we find out more about it?
Just Google it. and like lots and lots of people wanting to come and visit it. So part of the challenge is I feel a bit like a tour guide. In fact, I remember a few months ago
we did a virtual tour. It was amazing.
Did a virtual tour with you.
Well done, Clarke. And what about this amazing tractor? How many should we have? Just the 2 or the 3?
Oh, let's go the whole hog.
Well done, Clarke. Thank you.